Edwards off the running. Must get back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Marlon Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome into another edition of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. And we are wrapping up our season previews here with our conference previews anyway, with the SEC. Trevor, a lot to like from this conference. There's a lot of new faces at quarterback. Can they get over, the Big Ten this year with their, the last two national titles going to the Big Ten? People are talking. I'm curious to see what you think is going to happen in this conference. Guys, we are going to talk who we think are the contenders, the main contenders, and then kind of the dark horses or guys that can maybe weasel their ways in. Yeah. And then at the end, we'll give you our takes on who's going to play in the conference championship game, and then also how many SEC teams make it in the playoffs. So stick around, sit back, and let's talk some football, guys. Trevor.
And post comments.
Yes, post a lot of comments. Shit on us. We don't care. We want the comment. But I don't think you're going to be shitting on us. Guys,
nah, I don't think so.
How you feeling on this one? Who's your main contender, I guess?
My main contender?
Or do you have like a little grouping or like?
I have a grouping. It's like half the SEC. But
yeah, when I got my notes, man.
But no, the way their schedule kind of lays out, I have obviously Texas is my front runner right now. I just like the Texas team. I think they're going to beat Ohio State, and I think they have a 4 week stretch before they really get into SEC play. That kind of helps them prepare to start out with Florida. Then they got Oklahoma, and I think that's going to be the way their middle schedule goes. They have Florida, which could be a tough one, and then it's like all wins until you get to Georgia. That'll be a very tough game, and it's going to be in Athens. So I'm not really sure how that one's going to play out necessarily, but I think that Texas does edge them out. I think so. The way I'm looking at this is I think Texas goes into the chip at 12-0.
Gosh, I feel like 12-0 is so difficult now.
It is darn near impossible, and I feel like I'm going like I'm like a hand in the cookie jar. Someone's going to grab it and cut my hand off. Like I feel like that's what 12-0 is nowadays. God bless
so
it.
You're riding the Arch hype train.
I'm not doing that. I am riding the fact that they have such an immense amount of talent and depth at Texas right now. Gotcha. Right now, they are sitting at pretty deep at almost every position. They recruited well. They did a very good job at the transfer portal, and they don't have to play LSU. They don't have to play Alabama.
Yeah,
just that alone gives them a shot. It gives them way better of a shot to go 12-0 by not having to play either one of them. And I just want to make a mention of this. They don't also have to play South Carolina.
Yep.
Which is a very dangerous SEC team this year.
And listen, they play the 8-game conference schedule. Okay. Yep. You do get Ohio State out of conference, so that gives you another big game. Mm-hmm. I do think you beat Ohio State as Texas. I think you beat them early because your quarterback's more proven already. Even though I think Arch, I think people need to pump the brakes a little bit on how much.
I mean, he's telling people to pump the brakes on himself.
Like he's a young guy. Like obviously he's talented, but look at who he played against last year. Like give him a little break. But I think that's going to be a great test early, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be in Columbus. That place is going to be rocking. But I agree with you on the rest of the schedule. I do think Oklahoma will be improved this year. I think the quarterback coordinator situation is going to be a lot better. Florida, if Lagway is healthy, that's going to be a really tough team.
That's going to be a very good game.
The Georgia problem. Texas has kind of had a Georgia problem here. They haven't been able to get over them. So we'll see this year in Athens. Stockton, can he do it again? So it's played him in the SEC championship. So we'll see. Texas A&M, I think, is a team that's a rivalry game. Team's got a lot of talent for Texas A&M. Yep. I just don't know if I buy into Reed yet completely, having that turnaround.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
So I think Texas.
Okay, I will go 11-1, but Texas is still in the chip.
Yeah, I think they have a really good line to go there. And then, I mean, we already mentioned them. Georgia's got to be another top contender, right?
Yep, they're there. They're in it.
They're very young. I feel like this team has a lot of youth that's going to need to step up. When you look at the Tennessee, talented team, they're in Neyland. Aguilar is a big question. He's a talented guy, I think. I think he's probably better than Nico. It's just, how does he do with the turnover issue? And then for Georgia, you do play Alabama. You play a Kentucky team that I think is improved, that almost got you. Auburn and Jordan Hare. That's, what happens there. I mean, that's stupid shit going on in that town. Ole Miss, I'd say that's a win. So the schedule is tough.
In my opinion, I think Georgia has the toughest middle schedule in all of college football.
Yeah, it's between Bama, or honestly between Tennessee and Florida. That's
yeah. You it's all bad. Like, it's not very fun. It's all bad.
From Kung Pao, enter the fist. It's badong, bad and wrong.
It's badong.
It's badong. So Georgia, interesting. I want to see it with the quarterback, how he does full time. I'm not trying to hate. I lean more towards the quarterbacks that are more veteran, going to play in the conference championship game. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But tough schedule. I think they'll manage pretty well, though, for all the talent that they have. Trev, another contender, I'd say, in the top echelon. We've talked Texas. We talked Georgia. I think LSU's got to be mentioned just for the returning production and the veteran quarterback play. Yeah. But there's questions again with Brian Kelly. Can he get over the hump? Can he lead them to that conference championship game? And can the offensive line, how do they gel after a lot of change over there?
Yeah. The answer is no. No. They will not be sniffing this. They will have 3 losses before the end of the season. I would say they would have 3 losses before the Arkansas game. Before mid-November, they will have 3 losses.
I could see that.
So I know me and you have talked about it and how I guess I'm the minority out in left field on Nussmeier. Everybody else is saying he's a Heisman contender. I say I think the guy's a joke because he averaged. I think we figured it out to be averaging 2 interceptions a game. When you're a quarterback in the SEC and you're playing competition, when you're playing week 1 against Clemson, and then you're doing Florida, and then every other week is a team that can literally destroy you if you give them the ball too many times. I don't trust Nussmeier to get it done when it matters the most.
Yeah,
on top of that, you put Kelly in the mix, and then it's a double whammy. You don't trust either one of them to get it done, in my opinion.
This is a Penn State type situation, kind of how we feel about Penn State, where quarterback situation, does he have the clutch factor in the biggest moments? And then Kelly, the coaching staff.
And the only difference I would say between Nussmeier and Alar, I actually like Alar more because he protects the ball better.
He does.
He does. And that's what I would say to that. And I would say they lose to Clemson right out the gate. And I have them actually losing to Ole Miss at Hemingway Stadium. And then turning around and also losing to South Carolina.
Yeah, I think their schedule.
And then we'll just see how the rest of the season plays out after that.
I think their schedule might be too hard to get there.
Yeah, I really do personally. I like normal speak. I would say LSU usually is probably a contender. This particular season, the way their schedule lays out, because just the month of October, you have South Carolina, Vandy, and Texas A&M back to back to back.
Yeah.
All three of those teams are very good teams. Don't get me wrong, Vandy's probably going to be a little bit overpowered against LSU. LSU is just going to overpower them a bit.
Yeah.
But it's not saying it's not out of the possibilities because they were willing some shit happening last year.
Yeah. You can't overlook them.
You can't overlook either one of those three teams. And then, oh yeah, by the way, when you come out of the bye week, you got Alabama.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, you got to play Oklahoma, which we've already talked about is going to be in Norman, who's also going to be improved. I just don't see it for this LSU team. I don't necessarily say I'm not going to even necessarily say they don't have the talent. They absolutely 1,000% have the talent.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
1,000% have the talent. I just think that this particular schedule is too much of a grind for this team.
Yeah. You've got to be able to run the football, and I want to see them lean on that running game. Okay, it's great that your quarterback's throwing for 4,000, wonderful, but you're still not winning you're not winning the games to get you to the conference championship game.
Right.
You lost last year early to USC.
Mm-hmm.
You lose to Texas A&M. You lose to Alabama. You lose to Florida. If you can't run sustained drives, you're not going to win the goddamn conference. You've got to be able to do that, and you got to take some pressure off your quarterback. If he's out there and he feels like he has to play hero ball, he's going to throw picks. He might. I like his game. I do. But he did throw a lot of picks in big games. So if that doesn't get cleaned up, it's going to be same shit, different day. We'll
Absolutely.
see with LSU.
Oh, yep, absolutely. So, Brendan, LSU, I'd say we're both kind of out on them making it to the championship game then?
Yeah, I think there's potential. I don't have them in it for me.
Yeah, I don't have them in it. So what's your team you want to move to next? I have next team on my list is Alabama.
Same here. Let's talk about it.
All right, let's get into it. So obviously we all kind of know about all the jibber jabber that's going on from Florida State when that was for week 1 game against Alabama.
Castellanos, baby. He's calling
Castellanos opening that door, putting that bulletin board material up for him.
Yeah, God help you.
God, I feel like that's the silliest thing to do. But anyway, hey, I love the confidence.
I can't blame the guy for shit talking. Like, you just better hope you go out and show out.
Exactly. So I think the first 3 weeks are good. I think Florida State, you don't sleep on them necessarily, but I think that you can basically just overpower them with your team. And I think that Ty Simpson being named the starting quarterback is good to have that named now a couple weeks before the season, so you can just first team reps. Everybody's getting in the same rhythm of things. I think that's a good way to be. I think it's a good decision that Ty Simpson's the starting quarterback as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
First 3 weeks, Brendan, I honestly don't see an issue. I think they should be 3-0 coming out of the first 3 weeks of the season. Going into the Georgia game after the bye week. Georgia game, I think it might be a loss there. I'm not going to lie. I mean, but then I think it's just going to be a knockdown drag out. It's going to be a phenomenal underneath the lights game in Athens between the hedges, and I love it. I can't wait for that game. But it doesn't get any easier for them then, Brendan, because I mean the rest of their season from then on ain't easy. I think the easiest game that you could possibly say they have is against Missouri.
Yeah, and even them. I like them. So it's obviously it's the SEC. You guys have tough teams and a lot of talent on each team, but it just remains to be seen what team actually lives up to that talent. Because you can have all the talent in the world and shit the bed. I'm not trying to poke fun at Alabama, but look what just happened in your bowl game. I know I'm a Michigan fan, but god dang, they didn't even have a freaking quarterback.
Y'all were favored. I think Alabama. What were they favored? They were like favored by like 25 points or something crazy.
Well, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, it was a meaningless bowl game." No, I don't care. You had your whole fucking squad ready to rock and roll. You can't allow that this season. You cannot allow that this season. So that's something that DeBoer's got to have going. And I think that's part of the Milroe problem too. Milroe's gone. You don't have to worry about that craziness anymore. The wide receivers have I think a more reliable passer in Ty Simpson. I do want to see how he plays in like real game action, like real game action as a full-time starter. Florida State and Wisconsin are going to be great litmus tests for you,
Yep.
and what you have. This team is loaded with talent. I mean, we all know that. We know what Alabama has done recruiting wise, and even right now, DeBoer is killing it on the trail.
Right.
Running back Jam Miller's a freaking beast. I like him a lot. Offensive line, you lost multiple starters. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. You guys have a lot of guys back on the offensive line. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong notes. Tons of talent back. Wide receiver room is going to be good. The defense is loaded with talent again. It's just you guys have to finish the games. And again, I think a lot of that was on Jalen Milroe. Our friend calls him Old No Eyes. And when you look at you lose to Vandy, you lose to Tennessee, you lose to Oklahoma in such a disgusting way. Like, that's not Alabama football. I think they get back to it, Trevor, and I think they're going to be right in that contender side.
Yeah, I think so too. Now the real question is, Brendan, who do you have outside of those?
So I've got a list here. Dark horses, teams.
Are you outside? Are you now outside of the actual contenders? Are you into the dark horses at this point?
Yeah, Missouri would be my other contender, and
Okay.
it's simply because of their schedule.
Okay.
When you look at their schedule in the SEC, okay, yes, they play Alabama, they do play South Carolina, they do play Texas A&M, but Texas A&M, I have questions at quarterback. Oklahoma is one that I think is going to be improved. How improved? I don't know. We don't know yet.
Right.
South Carolina, they've lost talent. This team has lost talent, but they've got a ton too, and they also have who at quarterback. You know what I mean? The guy is a freaking beast. He's going to run all over you. So it's Sellers. He's a dangerous guy, and you cannot allow him to run all over you if you're Missouri. But Missouri got a good quarterback in from Penn State. I think Penn State fans really hurt to see him leave. So if Bo can get this offense back on track like it was, I think it was 23, the schedule shapes up nicely for them to manage a run towards the championship game. I don't think they're going to get there necessarily, but it's a team that, if things play out right, they have a more manageable schedule than some of the others that we've talked about.
No, I hear that. I'm with you on Missouri. I can see that. So my team that is a dark horse is a team most Alabama fans are not going to like hearing. But I have Auburn.
Okay.
I have Auburn as a dark horse.
All right.
And like you, I have it because of the schedule. So obviously they have Georgia and Alabama on their schedule. They don't have Texas. They don't have Georgia. Or no, excuse me. They don't have Texas. And it's fucking hell.
It's getting late.
They don't have South Carolina, which I find is dangerous. They don't have LSU, which you don't really want to have a bunch of those teams on your schedule. They have to play Baylor week 1, which I find that will be a great test for them to see where they are, because Baylor's going to be in Waco. And then you have Baylor, then you have a couple teams, then you go into Norman after that. Yeah. So, and honestly, their away schedule is kind of rough, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, they go to Baylor at the beginning of the season. At least they have to be at Baylor, at Oklahoma, and at Texas A&M, all within the first 5 weeks of the season. So,
and then of course
it's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
Arkansas too. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Arkansas is there, but I just don't think Arkansas is there yet.
Yeah, I feel you.
They're not there yet. So I think there's an avenue for Auburn to make a case. It is a major dark horse. It is not something that I'm saying that they're even going to be there. But I think there's a chance for them. And then so that was one of my dark horses. And obviously, you mentioned them earlier because of the quarterback play and how amazingly talented he is. South Carolina, for me,
they've got to be discussed.
They have to be discussed. They have to be in the conversation of being a dark horse team that can make a run for it. The middle of their schedule is brutal, like absolutely brutal. From October 11th all the way to November 1st, you got LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ole Miss back to back to back. 2 away games, 2 home games. That's tough. And then obviously Clemson at the end of the year. Obviously that's not a conference game, but it's still it's still an intense game that you'll have to play. I think they're a dark horse, but Brendan, I would like to hear your thoughts on South Carolina, on where you're at with them as far as their chances to actually get all the way there.
I just don't think the schedule shapes up enough for them to make it, but I do think this team is going to be dangerous. I think they'll be right in that same realm of last year.
You think they're just going to be a bracket buster type team?
I definitely think they will be. They've got the talent to do it. They return solid. They do have solid production returning, even though they did lose some key talent on the defensive side. Sellers is back. It's a young wide receivers that I want to see step up for him, but I don't think that's as big of an issue as some people make it out to be. I think the offensive line has good depth there, so the offense is going to be potent. The defense, again, it's the young guys I want to see step up, but Dylan Stewart's a freaking animal. He's gonna cause a lot of problems. So when I look at their schedule, I've got them as well as a team that can maybe crash the conference party. Missouri is going to be a big one early on the road. Kentucky as well. There's room for this team to be 5-0 at the start going into this LSU game, at Tiger Stadium. Oklahoma, again, it's just a big question for me. Alabama, I think, is going to be very difficult to beat. I don't think it's going to be going down this year. Ole Miss, I think, is definitely beatable with the quarterback that's unproven. Sellers has the upper hand there. And then Texas A&M, again, on the road in College Station. It'll be tough, but I think you have the better quarterback play, and we'll see what happens. And then, but outside the conference, it doesn't matter right now. We're talking in interconference. Clemson sucks to close out on, but I think they'll be close. I think they'll ruin somebody's season. I just don't think they'll be enough to win the SEC title.
Yeah, I think ultimately that middle section with LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ole Miss is going to kill them.
Yeah. And as for another one, we mentioned Ole Miss. I've got them as a pretender. They're loaded with talent. They killed in the portal again. I just don't think they're going to have enough to do it. Schedule wise, in the middle, LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Florida. I don't know the quarterback well enough. I don't know if he's now. Everybody says he's got talent. He's a good young arm. He's been in the program for a minute. Okay, got it. Very unproven. That's just where
exactly. I was going to say, if they had another talent that they were touting as like the second coming of Jackson Dart or someone better than Jackson Dart,
but even then they couldn't get it done.
But even then, Jackson Dart was a really good talent, is a good talent, and he's doing good things elsewhere. But it's just like, I don't know. It's always the bridesmaid, never the bride with Ole Miss. And I think that's going to just continue this season, unfortunately.
We've talked about Oklahoma and Auburn kind of offhandedly. You mentioned Auburn as a dark horse. Oklahoma, I just don't think there's enough there this season. But we'll see.
They're not there yet.
It could be.
But that being said, I think that the recruiting's better. They're starting to really pick up on the recruiting. The transfer portal's better, and they're just overall getting better.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a better season, and the injuries really hampered them last year too. So we'll see what happens with OU. I do think they'll be a strong team. The last two that I have double checking my list here. Florida is an interesting one with their talent level, but they play a very tough schedule. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs because of their schedule. You got Notre Dame. I do think you can beat Notre Dame early. Again, young quarterback situation. If Lagway's healthy, okay. Now in conference, that's kind of. I was looking at the wrong. It's late, man. I'm talking about LSU. LSU and then Miami. USF. Game 2 is where you can really get some good practice in. I think this USF team is strong. You'll outpower them. You'll get to really solidify that roster. But then when you look at this is the schedule I meant to fucking talk about. You got LSU week 3, then Miami, and then a break, and then you play Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Like, God bless. That's a tough schedule, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry
Lagway has
for
got to stay healthy. And
just
I don't know
that,
if he can.
just that 4-game stretch towards that they see Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. That's rough. I don't care who you are. That's rough.
It is. And 9-3 might get you on the edge of the playoff, depending on if you go 9-3, Florida, and your losses are light, like very tight losses, and they're to the right teams. I think a 9-3 Florida would get into the playoffs, but I don't know if you'll be able to play in the conference championship this season.
No, I don't think so either.
One last one, Trev, that I have would be Texas A&M. I think just to look at if things go right and Marcel Reed does click, can they make a run? If he's clicking, this team's another one that's top 10 talent, top 12 talent. When you look at the composite, but when you look at the schedule, is it manageable? Can they do it? You got Texas at the end that probably could keep you out. South Carolina's a danger. LSU, we've got our thoughts. What do you think about Texas A&M? I know you traditionally don't think much about them either, but
I think that Texas A&M isn't even a sniff it. I think they're a 4-loss team this year.
Yeah.
And it's not to do with anything. It's just I think they are about a year away from Elko really having all his ducks in a row to really make a run.
I can see that.
And I just think that's where they're at right now. I think they are good, and they are definitely not a team to take lightly. So with that said, I just don't think I don't see them making it there. However, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that an 8-4 SEC team makes the playoff.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how that. But yeah, I think Texas A&M overall, this year's not your year. I think you got too many strong teams at the top of the SEC to really make a run this season.
I think there's a path. I wouldn't have mentioned him if I didn't think there was, but Marcel Reed's really got to turn the corner. And if he does, you have the talent to go beat Notre Dame, to win against Florida, to win against LSU. And if that happens, you could be a 10-2 team. And it's just, we have to see it. And, we'll go from there. But that leads us into the final segment here, Trev. Kind of what's your pick? Who are you going with of all these teams that we've talked about? Who do you feel the most confident in? I think you've already said Texas, right?
Yeah, Texas is in, I think.
Who is your second?
So I'm between 4 teams. And I don't like any of them.
I'll tell you who I'm going with if you don't care.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
going Bama and Texas. Well? I'm going Bama and Texas.
Bama and Texas, okay.
I think Bama's just got too much talent, a lot of good returning vets. And then if Ty is even half as good, just a halfway good passer, I think they're going to be all right. When you look at their schedule, and Florida State, I think you cannot sleep on them. Wisconsin's one that you beat them last year. They're in Tuscaloosa this season. I see a lot of room for wins here. I think it's Texas, Alabama. It's tough though.
Georgia, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be kind of a Michigan Ohio State situation in a certain manner of speaking. So follow me on this. I think it's going to be Georgia and Texas rematch from from November 15th game. I think Texas is going to beat them during the regular season. And I think they are going to turn around and be in the championship, and it'll be Georgia, Texas.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Would it be crazy? And I'm
not a rivalry game now between them.
And here's the thing, folks. Like, this is the biggest thing about it all is that it all depends on when you lose these games. as well to make the playoff wise, not necessarily the championship, because the
Right.
conference championship just goes off your conference record and tie breaks and things like that.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about also being in the playoff, with how many teams usually in the SEC are ranked, Georgia will be up there, always are, and they are going to be again this year.
Yeah.
I mean, one loss, I mean, they've got a tough road to get ahead of them. But I think that their road is easier than most, in my opinion. But we'll see. But I think that it'll be Texas and Georgia.
All right. Well, that does it. I mean, that we've done all of our power conference projections, and you guys, if you want to check out what we think on the other conferences, hit them up in our YouTube or on all the podcast sites.
That's right. That's right.
How many SEC teams are getting into the playoffs this year? 4?
I got 4.
I think that's pretty safe bet. I'd say Bama, Texas, Georgia.
Bama's Texas, Georgia, and I think South Carolina squeezes in there somehow.
I think they'll be right at that. It's either South Carolina
or Auburn. Or Auburn. I think maybe Auburn might. I'll just pick my dark horse to be the 4th team and squeeze in there somehow.
Yeah, I think LSU could be the one that slithers in on the back end if they figure it out.
Yeah.
But you guys let us know. Hit us up in the comments. Could they get 5? Maybe.
Man, I don't know. That'd be crazy if they got 5 SEC teams in there.
We'll see. We will see.
That's
Guys,
right.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Hit us up in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and share. And then, of course, follow us on Twitter and, in all these around the block, if I can point wherever the hell it is. You see it on the background. Follow us at those, and we'll talk about with you whenever.
That's right, folks. I just remember we go live Sunday nights after the games. You're going to love to talk about it after that first week with all the big games we got going on. It'll be fun. Jump into the chats.
We love
drop your questions. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, take care. We'll see you around.
Take it easy.